So I'm the co-founder of Black PMs alongside Mariana Quiglis, who is here in the audience. Black PMs is a community whose mission is to make sure that product management as a field becomes as diverse as the customers that you actually serve. And specifically, we focus on nurturing a small, intimate community and providing tools like mentorship as well as events like this to help us become stronger product leaders. And now I'd like to introduce our first speaker. It's a great honor to have Shakhina Pulatova with us today. So when it comes to machine learning, Shakhina is like one of those top experts. She has worked at eBay, Eventbrite, and currently at LinkedIn in machine learning and adjacent fields. So at LinkedIn right now, she's leading search and discovery as well as profile and identity. And she's gonna be sharing with us one of the projects that she worked on that aim to improve the effectiveness of search results as well as the effectiveness of type ahead / autocomplete for search. So without further ado, I would like to welcome Shakhina.
Thanks, Jules. Hey, what's up? My name is Shakhina. I am a product lead, like Jules said, at LinkedIn. Up until recently, I was driving search and discovery products, and now working on leading profile and reputation initiatives. Today, I'd love to give you an overview of search products that we have and how we use machine learning to power those products. All right, there. But quick context on LinkedIn first. As all of you know, I'm sure LinkedIn is a professional network, and our mission is to connect world's professionals to each other to make them more successful and productive. Our overarching vision is to create opportunity for everyone in the global workforce. To do that, we've been working on building this economic graph, which is a digital representation of the world's economy. And that includes a digital profile for every member in the global workforce, every company, every job offered by those companies, right? Every skill that's required to obtain those jobs, every school, academic institutions, universities, and so on, where you can obtain those skills. And on top of that, we overlay all of that with professional knowledge in the forms of articles, videos, posts, and like learning courses, and so on, that are shared by our members, by the companies, and schools. Right? So now search plays a key role to make this economic graph valuable for our users. By searching all of the nodes and edges of this graph, we make it, we find the right opportunities, right? Like maybe dream jobs for our users, right? Or connect them to the right people, or give them the right content to consume, and so on. And there are a bunch of different components within this that power the search experience, and we're using a variety of machine learning models to do that. At the very first of all, even before you start typing in your query, who you are actually gives us a good idea about your search intent, whether you're a job seeker or a recruiter or a content consumer, and which actually helps us personalize your search results down the road. And to find out your searcher intent, we have a machine learning model that's trained on your profile and your previous searching behavior. And it's personalized to our members, to the user as well. On top of that, we do a lot of work to understand the intent behind your query as you're typing it, one character at a time. And the things that go into it are things like we do automatic spell correction, autocomplete suggestions, right? So as you're typing, we want to save you time and give you, like completed queries and so on. Those are personalized as well. There's vertical suggestion as well. As you see on the image on the left here, I have typed in MACH, and the autocomplete suggestion here is machine learning, and it's personalized to me. And also on top of that, we are offering top verticals, like the most relevant verticals for you. So are you looking for jobs that require machine learning skills, or are you looking for people in the machine learning field? Besides that, we do things like synonym expansion, for instance, expanding your query with the synonyms to improve recall. and different things like that. When it comes to ranking itself, we have a learning to rank model. It's a machine learning model. It's personalized, so it is a function of the query and the user. Because since we're dealing with a network, what's relevant to you might actually not be relevant to me, right, for the same query. And it depends on, like, the key features we use in this model are things like your network distance to the person, like, that you're viewing in the result, the connection strength between, like, how many people you have in common, or how many kind of things you have in common with the person that we're showing in the search results pages, search results. And also, like, spamminess, how spammy is the profile, right, like, as a result, and just overall kind of global popularity of our documents as well, of the profiles and so on. And so yeah, that's on the ranking. One thing I want to point out is the ranking, search ranking that we have on the type-ahead experience, which is on the left, which is as you're typing the query, we're showing you instant results, is different from the ranking model that we have on search results page, which is once you submit your query, then you see the results. And we do that for we have ranking models for every vertical that we serve. These verticals are mapped to the entities in our economic graph, right? We have a vertical for people, jobs, content, and so on. And then on top of ranking, we do blending of results from these verticals, basically retrieve top results from every vertical and show you the results from the top, the most relevant verticals in this top tab, for instance. There are, and then one other thing I want to call out is actually content search ranking. So when you, on the left, you see the posts tab, which is the search results for content. Since we have different types of content, we have articles, we have feed updates, right, like that you post on the feed, shares, like videos and so on. We do blending of that content as well, and also the learning to rank function, the model that we have, uses a different set of features. Things like, freshness, because we want to, like, the age of the content that we're returning. We want to, depending on your search intent, of course, we want to give you fresh results, right? Because you want to kind of always be up to date on the professional news, for instance, and knowledge. And like whether the person who posted that content is in your network or not, because a lot of our users tend to find that to be more relevant to them. And then, like, number of likes, comments, and shares, and so on are also in the feature set. Another type of kind of product that we more recently launched is the storylines. So these storylines are essentially news feeds about the kind of news stories that are developing in your professional world, in your industry. And for that, so that's the screenshot I have on the right. For that, we have chosen to go with a hybrid human and machine approach. We have editorial curation and machine learning algorithms working together to power that experience, and we found that to be successful so far. There are a few challenges that are behind creating these experiences and making the search product successful. Things like overall the relevance, I kind of hinted at that earlier, relevance is subjective, right? What you find relevant maybe as a job seeker might not be, might not be what you're looking for, like as opposed to like me as a recruiter, what I'm searching for. And for that reason, we do quite a lot of personalization based on your network, based on who you are, your intent, and so on. And that comes with challenges. We actually, if you know, like in typical machine learning systems, to collect training data, you collect human labels, right? Basically, these objective truths that you're trying to learn from, and you're trying to train your algorithm on top of that. But in our case, since we're doing a lot of personalization, it is very hard to collect objective truth human labeled data. So instead, what we do is we use click logs. So we'll look at click logs from previous searches. And caveat here is that we need to think about things like position bias, meaning if I show you results and rank them towards the top, you are more likely to click on them, even though the results are not relevant, right? So like, how do we actually kind of think about that bias, eliminating that bias or reducing that bias and so on? So that training data challenge. The same challenge applies to human judgment. So once we have the model running and it's giving us results, how do we evaluate the results? In a typical machine learning system, you use crowdsourcing, right, to do human judgment. For us, it's hard as well because the results are, relevance is very subjective. That's a challenge. Another thing is in the type of head experience that I've shown you earlier, we're dealing with prefixes, right? Like we're basically understanding your query and ranking results as you're typing the query one character at a time, and we need to be really fast. And we need to be very lenient, right? Like you might be mistyping, especially on mobile devices. And on top of that, we're dealing with personalization, so that's quite a bit of a challenge as well. And then measuring success, like if anyone has worked on search systems before, will know that measuring success is very hard. Success is not binary, right? Like for instance, if I give you ranked results, if you click on it, does the click mean success? What if you will just click on it, go to the the document, and then come back, right? Like, does that mean it wasn't successful? What if maybe you were looking for just one particular thing versus you were just exploring and trying to consume? Like there are multiple different correct answers and so on. So that makes it hard. In terms of overall kind of what we've gained by using machine learning models in our search products is, of course, going back to our mission and vision, we want to connect our members to opportunity, and we measure ourselves by that. But more kind of on signpost metric side, we obviously we want to improve search quality. We want faster times to search, especially if your intent was this navigational and you were trying to find there's one right answer and you want to get to it as fast as you can. We want to increase engagement, especially in the context of content, right? If you're consuming content, you're searching for a topic and then you're exploring it and so on. And then kind of some of the key learnings are that search, like I mentioned, search quality is subjective, success is not binary, and especially with the storyline use case, we found the kind of combo hybrid editorial and machine learning algorithm solution to be successful and productive, successful for us. So that's all I got for now. Thank you.